Recently, I got a message from Vederick who had suggested a rather intriguing idea that I would like to expand upon. I look forward to hearing what you think. Looking back at Rarity Takes Manhattan, we see many examples of Rarity's generosity and even the inspiring effect that it has on those around her. She is willing to give far more than is needed, and many others can't help but see life a little differently because of Rarity's actions. And like I mentioned in my review of that episode, it made for a really good lesson. Especially when she decided to keep her generous nature even after someone had taken advantage of it. It is a very admirable trait for Rarity to have. But while I would say that Rarity's generosity can be a good influence on others, I started to wonder just how much Rarity herself is learning from it. Take for example all her generous acts during Rarity Takes Manhattan. She's giving away diamonds left and right, and it is certainly making others smile. But given just how many diamonds she's managed to find with her natural talents, could you really say that Rarity is losing anything by giving a few of them away? We do see her getting an exclusive performance for all her friends, and they were certainly grateful for it. But like she says less than a minute later, she ended up getting this special treatment because she had offered to design the costumes for the next musical. And that would be a fantastic opportunity for her business in Ponyville anyways, so I have to believe that Rarity would have taken up the job even without promising her friends this performance that they had wanted to see so badly. It was nice seeing Rarity taking the time to fix a broken wheel, even without knowing that this same taxi driver would help her out later on. But Rarity really didn't have to sacrifice much in order to do this, and really didn't lose anything except a few moments of her time. And that's the key word that I want to focus on today: sacrifice. For as much as we've seen Rarity being generous with her talents and her wealth, we really haven't seen near as much sacrifice from her. Now, this is not to say that Rarity hasn't made any sacrifices throughout the series. In fact, way back during Suited for Success, we see Rarity sacrificing her need to make the dresses look good in favor of what her friends actually want. She put aside her own desires for the sake of others. So in that case, I would say that Rarity was willing to be generous, as well as being willing to sacrifice. But when I compare Rarity to other characters in MLP, I don't think that Rarity really does represent sacrifice all that well. As a matter of fact, I think Rainbow Dash has shown a greater willingness to sacrifice than Rarity. That one scene in Wonderbolt Academy gave me so much more respect for Rainbow than any other episode she's been in. She was willing to give up her lifelong dream, so much of what she had been striving for who knows how many years. She was willing to walk away from it all because she knew it was right. To me, that represents a greater example of sacrifice than anything Rarity has done thus far. So while I was thinking about the differences between generosity and sacrifice, I began to wonder about whether you could consider sacrifice as a seventh element of harmony. Whether the writers could ever incorporate that possibility into the show someday, and honestly I think it would work very well. And we already have a character in the show that could one day come to represent that element: Spike. Spike is a character that I believe could become that seventh element of harmony. Even though Spike is still a child and still has much to learn about life, I can think of some good examples where Spike has been willing to sacrifice. Like back during Secret of My Excess, Spike had been aging a fire ruby for months and was eagerly looking forward to his birthday when he could finally enjoy it. But when Spike realizes just how much Rarity would love having it, he makes a very hard decision to give it up. We've seen Rarity being very generous with all the gems she has had. But looking at Spike in this moment, have we ever seen another character in MLP being so torn up about giving something away? And what about Spike's actions during the Crystal Empire episodes? Spike was more than willing to follow Twilight into danger, but all the while he was following her instructions of not doing anything. Until the very moment that Twilight said otherwise. Spike could not bring himself to let Twilight go at it alone, but was willing to sacrifice his own desires to follow in what Twilight needed from him. I know that Spike still has much to learn, and I know that he still lacks experience. But when it comes to being a helping hand, Spike seems more than willing than most to do his part and then some. And to be honest, I could see Spike as the element of sacrifice. I could see the writers taking that aspect of his character and showing that he really is essential to the group. Now, do I think that this will ever happen in the show? More than likely not. But I feel that it would be a real shame if Spike never got that kind of recognition. It is easy to see that the main six believe in him and aren't going to give up on him. But perhaps someday, Spike will get his great moment to show how much he is willing to sacrifice for the sake of others. What do you think? I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.